I'm having a trying day today. It's one of those days where it's just one thing after another, and I just had to go take a shower and try and calm down. And I had those good shower thoughts. I was thinking, you know what? I'm not stressing no more. I refuse to stress, to be down, anxious, depressed, anything negative. I refuse that. And yeah, sometimes you just get to that point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. It takes just as much energy to be negative, complaining, stressing, and worrying as it does to try and focus on things that are good and praiseworthy. And I don't mean that in like a toxic positivity type of thing, but I believe that life is about perspective. Like you can choose the way that you see the world, and sometimes we take life too seriously. I know I do. And like my perfectionism is something that I really struggle with and that holds me back sometimes. And that really showed up today. So let me tell y'all what happened. So basically, I was working on something really hard at work. I was putting that work in, making sure that everything was perfect and like flowing smoothly. And the system that I was working on, I think I had taken too long because basically it timed out. And long story short, I lost all my work. And I was so mad. I was so upset. And that was really just a reminder to me that, sometimes we could focus so much on trying to make things perfect to where we just don't get the job done or we miss the mark. And that shows up in many areas of my life, not even just with work, but even just with my YouTube channel. Like, I'll record a video and I'll spend so much time trying to edit it and trying to make it look perfect to the point where I end up not getting the video out or it's over edited and it turns out worse than what it was when it was fine in the first place. So, that's really been holding me back in some areas in my life, and I just had to learn to release things and move forward. Like, everything is not going to be perfect. I've been trying to follow the 80% rule, so like if it's 80% good, leave it and keep it moving, because you could really hold yourself back trying to make things perfect. And there's already enough to be worried and stressed about in this world. You don't I mean, this is me telling me this to myself, but it's like, you don't need to add all this unnecessary stress and pressure. And I just been trying to focus on what's right in front of me, focus on one thing at a time, and just keep it moving forward, and not dwell too much on trying to make things perfect or turn out a certain way, or even just dwelling on negativity. Like, I know that there's so much negativity in this world, and it's easy to be in that mindset and to dwell on things. And sometimes it feels like, okay, like, why are we working so hard, to chase our goals and to work towards certain things, when it feels like life is meaningless in a way? Like, it feels like, for what? Like, why are we doing all these things? And I totally understand that. And I feel that way sometimes too. Like, it feels like we're just living and waiting to die in a sense. And I know that that sounds pessimistic, but it's real. But at the same time, like, I still want to be useful. I still want to enjoy the blessings that I do have. Like, every day there's something to be joyful about, something I get to enjoy and that I really just get to thank God for. Yeah, I know it's easier said than done to try and focus on things good and praiseworthy. It really is hard sometimes, but sometimes you just get to that point where, you're tired, and it takes a lot of energy to feel negative and to dwell. When I start to feel like that, I just be releasing things and just letting it go and just moving on. Like, it is what it is. It's really funny because it's like, I do think that you should take yourself seriously and you should take life seriously, but to a certain extent, because we know that this world is basically like a simulation. And so at the same time, it's not meant to be taken seriously to the point where you've got all this unnecessary anxiety. That's really all I gotta say. Um, yeah, that's it. I love y'all. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope y'all are having a blessed day.